Scope and importance. The plants are, as we know, the plants are primary producers in our ecosystem. The photosynthesis forms the basis of the productivity in our ecosystem. Plants are always, because plants are primary producers, because they are converting the light energy into usable energy, and the energy is transferred to secondary consumers, primary consumers or secondary consumers. Okay, so they are the basis of the productivity in our ecosystem. The physiological performance of the plant decides about how much raw material that can be plant produce in the given environment. The knowledge of plant physiology can help not only to predict the performance of the plant but also manipulates its growth. Actually, the when you saw a plant, if you have some knowledge about the plant physiology, then you can decide, or you can predict the how much raw material can be obtained from the plant. If you saw some plants, a cotton plant is in a very which do not have a good amount of water for their growth, or very less amount of nutrition for their growth at that time, or unhealthy plant at that time, you can predict that this cannot give you a much productivity. Or if you see a healthy plant, there at that time you can say that this plant give a very good amount of yield. That is the physiological prediction of physiology. When you understand the physiology, at that time you can predict how much raw material they give. Or sometimes we can manipulate their growth also. If some plants do not, or if some plants do not give us more yield, at that time you can uh, manipulate their growth also, like sugar sucrose in sugar cane, oil in oil seed plants, rubber in rubber ending plants. Okay, so this you can manipulate with some your physiological knowledge. The plant physiology helps to manipulate the plant growth to achieve higher yield. This can be achieved by the external application of nutrients, hormones, and other growth nutrients. For example, ethylene and carbide for ripening fruit. Nowadays, in market there are bananas, banana. You can see the bananas and various other mangoes. They are ripened by the carbide. Or in a newspaper you can read such type of news out there that mangoes and other fruits are ripened with the help of these chemicals carbide. The huge amount is there. Actually, this is banned for the ripening purpose, but even though some producers are using this carbide for the ripening of food. This is the when you want early ripening of the fruits, at that time you can use these chemicals for the ripening of food, of the fruit. Or gibberellic acid for grapefruit development, or indole acetic acid to cause the flowering pineapple. These are some growth regulators which with the help of which you can get maximum or early development, or maximum yield of the raw material. Okay, the fruit physiology deals with the development, ripening, nutrition, and the yield of the fruit. Its study helps you to increase the yield and quality of the fruits. After that, the post-harvest technology develops a way to store harvested plant parts like grains, seed, eat fruits, tubers, etc. for long period without spoilage. When you understand the physiology of the plant at that time, the post harvest techniques you can do very effectively without any spoilage. For suppose you want to store some grains at that time, you should dry them, and after that you can store them. If there is a little amount of water present in it at that time, the whole grains may become decay, or that will become spoilage, or this type of technology or this type of things you can understand only when you study the physiology of plants and the shelf life period of fruits and vegetables can be improved with the plant physiology. The plant tissue culture is employed in the micropropagation. Now this is the very much important emerging branch of the botany, that is plant physiology. With this technique, various plants were cultivated or were new quality improved plants are prepared. The phytochemistry provides the scope to understand and isolate active chemical responsible for medicine and other properties of plant parts. Phytochemistry, it means the whatever may be the chemicals which is present, or whatever may be the important chemicals responsible for medicinal use that can be isolated from the plant parts. There are various plant parts like root, stem, leaves, seeds, flowers. Some chemicals may be present in their roots, may be present their stem, may be present their leaves, and other parts also that can be identified and isolated by these plant physiologists. Nowadays it is in great demand in pharmaceutical industries, because most of the chemicals are biological origin or plant origin. For example, the anti-malarial drug is also obtained from this cinchona plant, or many alkaloids or many glycosides. There are many alkaloids are isolated from the plants. Okay, the knowledge of plant physiology helps in protecting plants living under biotic, unbiotic, or abiotic or biotic stress condition. The biotechnologist, the biotechnologics technologies like production of transgenic fermentation of fruits and plant residues for edible and fuel alcohol respectively. Food processing, production of herbal medicine, pigments, flavoring agents require the sound knowledge of the plant physiology. These are some branches in which the knowledge of plant physiology can be employed. The student of plant physiology is very much known things like the fermentation process, or the transgenic plants or fermentation process, or plant residues for edible or fuel alcohol, etc. purposes. All above the points of importance highlights its scope also. The student of plant physiology not only knowing the plants by their names, but also its chemistry, functions, and performance. So he can exploit the useful plants and also help them perform well. Due to this knowledge, they are in good demand in industry based on the plant products nowadays. The students of plant physiology are well versed in biochemical techniques like chromatography, electrophoresis, centrifugation, all types of spectral analysis of plant physiology and histochemical and plant tissue culture studies. In plant physiology, these all techniques are studied. Chromatography, electrophoresis, centrifugation. These are all the process. These are all techniques which are helpful in study of plant physiology. This will help them to join laboratories involving in plant biotechnology, agri business, pharmacy business, etc. They can also establish their own ventures or their own ways or their own business in tissue culture, nursery, landscape gardening, phytochemical analysis, etc. They can provide consultancy services to pharmacists, farmers, and peoples involving in the business with the products as a raw material. These are some techniques which are used in the physiology, that is electrophoresis. This is electrophoresis. This is TLC. This is the centrifugation. This is tissue culture technique. With these all techniques are helps in the plant to study the plant physiology of the plants. With these are various ways. Okay, so this is all about the first chapter, that is the introduction to plant physiology, in which we have covered the introduction, scope and its importance. So regarding this chapter, the definition of the plant physiology is important, as well as the scope and importance of the plant is also important as concerned to the examination. So take the notes of some of the points of this chapter, which will useful you to understand this chapter more effectively. If you have some questions, you can send me a message or ask me in Google Classroom. Okay, thank you.